The now husband to Princess Märtha Louise, Shaman Durek Verrett, well, he viewed my videos and decided to reach out. And after many conversations we have had for almost a week now, I have been given exclusive permission to tell the contents of said conversation and clear up a lot of the mess that has been said. For legal reasons and disclaimer, these are not my words. They are his, from his mouth to my ears, with permission to tell you all. And I have been cleared to talk about certain topics and fact check the lies. Let's get started. We are first going to start with the ex-partner, Hank Greenberg. Well, the two have a very well-documented volatile relationship, going as far as friends having to step in and provide character witness statements, which is crazy. Let's take a look at one. I put my glasses on for this, I'm blind. Directly from Todd Stevens, who is a Los Angeles-based producer of award television shows such as The Osbournes and Newlyweds with Jessica Simpson, he met Shaman Durek in 2008. At the time, they were looking for a spiritual person to build a lead docuseries about alternative healing. He goes on to say that the first afternoon he met with Durek, he made a lasting impression, to say the least. By the way, I have blocked out his contact information. The Bravo network decided to move forward with the next steps of filming a pilot episode and indicated they wanted Durek's relationship with Hank to be included. Now, listen to this. I was opposed to this from the start, as in the months of working with Durek during the initial project, I found Hank to be difficult to work with, as I had seen him treat Durek in a manner that I personally would label as volatile and verbally abusive on more than one occasion. I remember mediating multiple uncomfortable situations where Hank was argumentative, yet I don't have a single memory of Durek ever having a similar reaction. There were enough of these instances that I even began mentioning to Durek that I felt he should consider leaving the relationship. Now, I have seen a few more of these character witness statements, negating a lot of the false truths told by Mr. Greenberg. To describe the last situation, in which did not, I guess you could say, end well, Mr. Greenberg had a history of self-harming as a means to keep or stay in the relationship so Durek would not leave. And growing up in a abused household himself, meaning Shaman Durek, he had the notion and thought of, maybe I could fix him, which is not uncommon with a lot of people. Well, this particular situation, Hank had actually gotten to it with a neighbor, and the neighbor ultimately called the cops. Obviously, Hank had self-harmed himself, therefore when the police arrived, he used his privilege, in which Shaman Durek quoted playing the race card. Durek was arrested and taken to jail. However, the charges were dropped because it was found out that Hank lied and the case was dismissed. But nobody's saying that part, and we know in the United States that criminal records are public. Just saying. Years after that last situation, Hank apologized to Durek and said how sorry he was and all of that. Even at one point spoke on the phone to Princess Märtha Louise, inviting her over for dinner, to which he was going to cook. But it wasn't until the media started to reach out to Hank that things turned back sour. Let's just say the demands for not speaking to the media were not going to be tolerated. One of the most talked about things, obviously, and I've spoken about it, is his sexuality. And as we know, he is very open. He is bisexual. However, he even went further than that to say that the princess knows everything about him, who he is authentically. More important, her family knew who he was authentically before he even asked her hand in marriage, because he said that was very important, that the family needed to be able to accept him for who he is before he could even consider asking for her hand in marriage. So this isn't news or new to his in-laws. They know. But it is a delicate situation because Durek is the first of his kind. He is the first openly bisexual, black, male to marry into a reigning or non-reigning European house, more specifically the Norwegian Royal Family, who are a current reigning royal house. And it's not difficult for the King of Norway, King Harald V, to understand that he would accept Durek, because he has made a very impactful speech in support of LGBTQ rights, more specifically September 1st, 2016. End quote. Norwegians are girls who love girls, boys who love boys and girls who love each other. Norwegians believe in God, Allah, everything and nothing, says King Harald V. end quote. I have also praised King Harald of being one of the first monarchs to discuss racism, along with the King of the Netherlands setting the precedent. The princess also has a anti-racism nonprofit. And from my understanding, she is the first European royal to do so. This is the work that is not talked about. I didn't even know that. Obviously, I had to ask, do you really think of yourself as a reptile? Do you think you're reptilian? Because this is something that was printed in the media. Let me grab my note for this because I had to write it down, obviously. Those articles you see where they claim he said he was a reptile, here's the thing. He purposefully said it to see if they would run with it. And what did they do? They ran with it. Joke's on them. So it's not true. One of the other questions I asked was, Mr. Verrett, did you actually say you could cure COVID? And the answer was no. I'm going to tell you the story. One day he was on live. He was at the time experiencing COVID. And during this live, he had mentioned he had just did yoga, he had meditated, had a healthy meal, and coupled that with this spirit optimizer, which is a magnetic energy device used to meditate with. And he told the audience at the time that he felt like it helped him. Well, the media got that and they said, oh, no, he said he could cure COVID. No, that's not what he said. You can even go on the website and see exactly what he describes it being used for. It's similar to people who use crystals. I myself have this necklace. It's a gold elephant. I got blessed in Thailand and I use it for protection and energy. And it's really no different than what other people feel like they use for these types of purposes. I then asked, hey, can I ask you the hard questions now? I mean, all of these questions were the tough ones. I'm pretty sure everybody wanted to know, including myself. But I wanted to know about the criminal record. More specifically, the felony arson charge. And he was gracious enough to explain exactly what happened. When he was a teenager, he was skateboarding and met a group of kids at a house that they said was abandoned. They were going to have a party. He asked if he could bring some friends. They said, yeah, which is exactly what he did. And then after a while, him and his sister left the party early, but the house wasn't abandoned, actually. It was very much so in use by real people. Well, the kids there set it on fire. And anyone who was there got in trouble, which resulted in him doing 6 months in juvenile detention center with 5 months probation, not 5 years in prison. So that is incorrect. And for those curious, yes, Shaman Durek Verrett is a member of the Norwegian Royal Family. He's married to Princess Märtha Louise, who of course is still a member of the Norwegian Royal Family, still a princess, and still fourth in line to the Norwegian throne. Just saying. I want to thank Shaman Durek for reaching out with love, because he didn't have to give me the grace that he gave me and entrusting me with telling this to you all. Also, special shout out to Princess Märtha Louise. I'm curious as to what the media outlets who now follow me are going to report on this. But also, comment your thoughts below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye.